second.
Woohoo!
Oh, golly gee. Hold on. Thank you, guys. Glad everyone is here. Give us a moment. There we go. Oh my goodness. Well, we are broadcasting live today from Buffalo, New York. There you are, Alex. You are now host of the meeting. And this is broadcasting also onto Facebook as usual. And what I like to do at this point is I like everyone on Zoom who's in a little Zoom window. Can you wave? There are more windows than I can see, but there's everyone who's joining us. And if you are on Facebook or watching it on YouTube, and I got to do this last week because Hugh was running the service, I got to stream it from Facebook on the drive to the airport. And it's really cool to stream it on Facebook because nobody can see your face and you can do other things like drive to an airport. If you would like to be on the regular, if you'd like to be in one of the boxes like all the people you see on the screen, please sign up at rotb.org. Sign up for the newsletter and you'll get a link. And we hope to have you join us live because this is where the fun is. And we're going to start today. Not there. Oh, well, we're going to start right here with a quote that I sent out. I'm going to read it to you. It says this, and this is from the Dalai Lama. He said, although attempting to bring world peace through transformation of individuals is difficult, it is the only way. Although attempting to bring about world peace through the transformation of individuals is difficult, it is the only way. Well, that's a bummer. Does anyone have any righteous way of saying no, that's not true? Maybe there is a better way of transforming the world, of bringing about world peace, except by doing it through individuals? So I think we're going to assume the Dalai Lama is right on this one. The only way to bring about world peace is through individuals. Ugh. So if we have to do it through individuals, there are two individuals that come to my mind immediately when I hear this quote. And I would love to hear from you guys. Which individuals are we talking about here? What individual? We're talking about ourselves, definitely ourselves. We are some of the individuals who we have to transform. So if we're going to transform the world, we have to do it through individuals that include ourselves. And there's another individual who comes to my mind that we need to bring about world peace through the transformation of. So it's ourselves and you. Yeah. And that schmuck you're talking to, that asshole in front of you online at the supermarket, the person who puts you on hold or whatever, whoever it is, that other person is the right other. The other person is someone who we're going to use to transform. The way we are going to transform the world is through other people. But I'm having a slight problem with my screen as we are on the away show. Alex, I'm a little confused here for a second. Well, I don't know why I can't see everybody. I can't see everyone, which makes it really hard because I'm used to being able to call on people and see who's talking and who's not talking, and I can only see myself. Am I spotlit? Is something weird going on here? All right. Okay, I'm gonna do this. There we go. And I'm gonna do that, and I'm gonna be able to see more people now. Okay, I'm closing a few effects in other windows. I apologize, folks. As usual, I am not paying any attention to the chat. Joe is moderating the chat. Please keep your microphone unmuted. That's our usual. And feel free to interrupt, to talk. I'm going to ask people to ask themselves, how pressing is it? If you've already said something 2 or 3 times in this service, to please contemplate, is it something that needs to be said again? Or maybe there's somebody else who would be able to speak. That's all right. And Sherry, thank you for muting yourself. I'm glad you brought other people with you. And there's my little friend Elliot. Hi, Elliot. Can we wave to Elliot? Hi, Elliot. Oh, wonderful. Good and good morning. And I have people who are on Facebook right now who are also posting. So thank you, Patricia, for posting and being there. So let's get back to our quote here. Our quote says, although attempting to bring about world peace through the transformation of individuals is difficult, it is the only way. And what we've come up with so far is that there are two individuals that we have to transform the world through: self and others. All right. Which one do you think we have a better chance at doing? Yeah. All right. No, I think we're exactly this is exactly the rub, right? It would seem like if you had a choice and you could choose which one you got to transform the world through, I think our knee-jerk reaction would be them. If they only fixed the stuff, things would be fine. But the truth is, and I think we all know this, that the only one we actually have any power to control or to change the world by isn't them. It's us. Okay, I think we're done for the day. All right, let's do our announcements. Let's do our TWIP of the day. Um, this so I am in Buffalo, New York, running on a very skeleton system, and I apologize. I'm gonna try to speak louder, but this is about the best I can do. We do have captions running. I think we have captions. Do we not have? We have captions running. Someone give me a. Okay, I apologize. Go, Michael. Go. Yeah. Ah. So the way I. Mm, so that we have to do both at the same time. That the way to transform, right? The way to transform others is really by changing ourselves. I can't change someone else, but if I change my reaction to them, it's going to change the way that they are. Regardless. So that is self and others together. Is community. Say a little bit more, Rags. Was that? Yeah. I didn't quite. Okay. What's Biden doing? Right. So help me, Michael, bring that to self and others. And let me also just say before Michael, I'll give you a chance. And is that if you're new here and it seems like, hey, Rabbi seems to know all these people and I don't have anything to say, you're wrong. I would love to hear from you if you've not ever participated in this service before. We'd love to add your voice to it because there was a day when Michael didn't have anything to say. He was new here too. And Rags was new here too. And everyone who was here was new here at one point. And so if you have something, even if it doesn't make full sense to you, please add it because the more voices we have, the richer this becomes. Okay, Michael, go back and help us understand. So the way to transform the world, we say, is through self and through others and through community, but we're going to prioritize that we can change ourselves. That is going to help to change others. That's what I've gotten so far. Okay. Mhm. And go for it. Was that Carol Ann Clausen Williams saying such? that love wins. So if we have the idea that love wins, and this brings us back to what we've been talking about for the last month, is that if this is all about love, how are we going to bring more love into the world? Is we have to start with the love of self. And it's only when we love ourselves that we can truly understand and how to love others. Well, I said that as though it's true, and I'm not certain it is. Can we love others without loving ourselves? Can we love it? I mean, yeah, go ahead. Wait a sec. Wait, what? Too many people at once. Al, go ahead. I heard your voice trying to get in there. It is hard. Anyone ever have, like, when I've had this, when you're depressed and you can still help other people and make other people laugh, but you can't do it for yourself? And it's like a special realm of hell. Say that again. Was that Lisa? Yeah. So it's again, we're back to balance. We have to balance somewhere between self and others. So how is it that we're going to bring about change in the world? That was our quote, right? Although attempting, can somebody else read that aloud? Because now I've gotten all my screens right. I can't see the quote. Thank you, Rita. So while bringing about world peace, the only way to bring about world peace is by changing ourselves and changing others in the individual basis. I've been reading a book. Hey, Emmett, can you throw me that book over there? Emmett, he's got a headset in. That's just not going to work at all. I'm reading a book called right now Emergent Strategies. And the whole idea is that the only thing we can do is we can change us. And I think Aviva, I saw Aviva. Aviva, are you here today? I thought I saw Aviva. Aviva is the one who recommended. Are you taking a walk again? Yeah. Aviva, could you give us a little bit? You're the one who recommended the book Emergent Strategies. And the whole premise of the book is this quote is that the only way we're going to change the world is by starting with ourselves, starting small, starting where we are. Aviva, you have anything you'd like to add from your hike somewhere? That the way, wait. So let's say that again. The way to transform the world is through self, and that has to do with self acceptance and patience. That's some big stuff. Yeah, yeah. They talk about mushrooms a lot. You want it, okay? In case not everyone's read it, can you give us a little bit Sauvie Island of mushrooms? Uh huh. Thank you, Aviva. I appreciate it. And you didn't know I was gonna call on you, so I really appreciate you doing so. So we're looking at acceptance and patience, and we're going to get back to that. But I want to take us to have, as we've been doing, to take a minute, just to have a minute of contemplation, of thinking. There's been so much going on, and also this idea that we all are running so fast and doing things so quickly that it's really important for us to. It was a great quote from Gandhi, and he said, "There is more to life than merely increasing its speed." There is more to life than merely increasing its speed. And in our consumer culture, we tend to think that we have to do it faster and bigger. And here we're going to deliberately take time, and I do this every day, to take some time to intentionally not do. I had an idea of a bumper sticker. It would look like a stop sign, and it would say, "Start a revolution, stop." And so let's take a minute. Let's just take a minute. We'll start. My clock here says 11:18. We'll start at 45, and we'll take a minute of just. You can stare right at the camera, whatever you want. Just take a minute. Let me ask you guys a question, and I'm sure you've all had the same experience I've had, where you're on the cell phone talking to someone, but without you knowing, the connection got lost, and you continue to talk, and you wait for a second, and they haven't said anything, and then you find yourself continue, you talk a little bit more. And you wind up saying things that you weren't really sure you were going to say, but you're saying something because there's this, and then you find out, oh, schmuck, the cell phone, or it's not there. But you wound up sharing more because of the silence. And we've done this a bunch of weeks, is we think about a TWIP of this week I'll practice. And I'm going to invite us this week, and here's a practice that you can have of shutting the fuck up. And make it that the other person just thinks that, like, so they have a chance to fill the space with whatever it is they didn't even know they were going to say. Just to take, yeah. How many of us get anxious when there's a little bit too much quiet? So let me point out. It says this week I'll. This word's important. This is practice. It doesn't say this week I'll perfect. It's a practice. It's just practice. And speaking of practice, folks, how many of you, practice this? This was a we talked about this. We talked about, and I'll tell you why I do this. I'm pretty certain, and this goes into emergent strategies and everything, in this idea of fractals, of the thing that you do on a small scale is something that's on a large scale. And if you can practice getting through the discomfort of not being able to do something well until you practice it and you can do it well, if you can practice it with this, I'll show you what I want us to look at today. We mentioned acceptance and patience. And I want to teach you a little bit of Aristotle. Did someone just give like a woot cheer for Aristotle? That's so cool. Aristotle. So I ran. You guys know that I have my buddy James, who's a prison bodhisattva. He went to prison for one set of circumstances, and he turned his whole life around. He gave up gang life, and he became a prison monk. And he's a cool dude, and he's unbelievable. And I ran with him. I did a correspondence course about anger, about how to, and I would send him packets and he would give it to a group of guys and they would write back and he'd send me back the packet. And we did this correspondence course about anger and it was great. And I wanted to offer this correspondence course about anger to people like you, to people who, on the outside. And you know what I found out? Nobody wants to admit they have a problem with anger. But if I repackage it and I say, hey, do you want to learn about patience? Everyone's like, yeah, I could use more patience. Well, let me let you in on a little secret here. Patience, oh, I'm going to do a little bit of math, so stay seated. Patience equals anger, the inverse of anger. Patience is the inverse of anger. All patience is the ability to not be angry. That's what patience is. It's the amount of time you can go between getting angry. And Aristotle said this. Aristotle said, anyone can be angry, that is easy. Anyone can be angry, that is easy. But, he said, angry, that is easy. But, he said, to be angry at the right person, and if you're taking notes, I do it with little pictures. So he said, anyone can be angry, that is easy, but to be angry at the right person, at the right time, in the right amount, and for the right reason. That's a picture of a raisin, in case you're trying to figure. So he said, anyone can be angry, that is easy, but to be angry at the right person, at the right time, in the right amount, and for the right reason, that is not easy. Nor, and I hate this last part, is it something everyone, can do. And we're going to take this one bit at a time. And my friend, Reverend Gene Robinson, he uses these four, and anytime he gets angry, and he looks back and he says, was I at that time angry at the right person? We've all been at the wrong place at the wrong time, and kids get this a lot, where mom and dad are stressed out and angry, and they get angry at the kid because it's easier to get angry at a kid because they're small. It's not fair. It's the wrong person. But anyone can be angry. That is easy. But to be angry at the right person, at the right time, this one goes like this. Has everyone here been at the wrong side of someone getting angry at them and it wasn't really about you, it was about someone else? I'm just going to assume that one's a yes. Every day. I'm sorry to hear. To get angry at the right person at the right time. 6 years ago, you stepped on my foot and I'm still mad. Really? That's not at the right time. To get angry at the right person at the right time in the right amount, you step on my foot, I kill your family. That's not the right amount. It's the right person. It's the right time. That's not the right amount. And to be angry at them for the right reason. You wouldn't go out with me in high school and now I'm going to be mad at you for stepping on my foot. I'm mad at the right person at the right time in the right amount, but it's not for the right reason. So to be angry, anyone can be angry. That is easy. But to be angry at the right, what is this one? At the right person, at the right, in the right, and for the right, that is not easy. Everyone agree so far with Aristotle that is not easy? And then this last part. Oh, I hate this last part. I used to teach this and not include this last part. Well, because I was like, I don't understand that. Well, the truth is, I think I understood it. I just didn't want to deal with it. Nor is it something everyone can do. What does this mean? When someone else outside of this group, when someone else gets angry at you, and they're getting angry at you, and it's the wrong time, it's the wrong amount, the wrong reason, you know why they're doing that? Because it's the best they can do. Because they're human also. Yeah, crap. Anger, the ability to be angry at the right person at the right time in the right amount and for the right reason, that is a virtue. And that brings us straight back to our quote from the Dalai Lama. How are we going to transform the world? Well, we have to start, our inroad is with self. And let me add one other piece about anger. We all get angry. And to pretend that you don't get angry and to shove that down, that causes huge problems because it's going to come out. And Pema Chodron talks about how there are religious groups who seem happy all the time. And you know they're just going to, the people who are just, it's all sunshine and everything's good and for the best. You know those people are just going to explode somewhere. They're going to do it in quiet behind a door. But you can't pantomime joy all the time. Correct. You can't, we all get angry. The trick, I don't know the trick. The goal is to do it this way. Uh-oh. Oh no. Woo, 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 woo. Quiz time. Here's a quiz. Anyone can get angry. That is easy. But to be angry at the right, all right. See if you can get them on your own. I feel a little like Mr. Rogers here, but it works for me. Can you guys, how many of you can get all four of them? Let me see a show of hands. How many of you can get all four of them? Show offs. That's great. That's good. We got right person at the right. Not everyone can get angry at the right person. Not everyone can get angry at the right time. Not everyone can get angry in the right. And the last one is not everyone can get angry for the right reason. That's a raisin. Yeah. So let's go. Let's take this to the next step. Oh, this is so much fun. This is from Niconomian. Somebody help me with that word, Niconomian ethics. That was Aristotle's book. I say it again, Rags. Nicomachean ethics. So, how about let's go back to self. Sometimes we get angry at ourselves, and we're not the right person to be angry at. Sometimes we get angry at ourselves for something we did 20 years ago. And we're correct. 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 We can get angry at ourselves and we weren't the right person to get angry at all. Or we can get angry at them and they're not the right person to get angry at. Get angry at the wrong time. Anyone ever, I'm sure none of you have ever done that, gotten mad at yourself in the wrong amount? Just like two of us. Okay. And for the wrong reason. And then if we go to the other one, if we go to others, I think like hands down, I don't need to go through all these. We've all done that. We've all got angry at the wrong person at the wrong time in the wrong amount and for the wrong reason. Okay, Jeff Horner, thank you. Could be. Yeah. You got an example come to mind? Something you're thinking about, Jeffrey? Bless you, Rita. Yeah. If you're going to sneeze, do it during a religious service because the blessings are like they. I don't know if you know that, but they count for double during a religious service. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Did I have to be that? Right. And this is going to lead us to there's this other idea, and I don't think we have time enough to branch into this one, but let's think about this for next week. Yeah. All this spiritual stuff, it's all so interrelated, isn't it? Okay. Kindness. Kindness, forgiveness, and kindness. I don't know that you can do one without the other. Somebody say it again, Kip. And that brings us straight back to the beginning. How are we going to transform the world? How are we going to transform other people? We got to start in with us. Okay. Um, some of us don't remember that hundredth monkey phenomena so well. Michael, you want to remind us of that one? I know the infinite monkeys, but that's a lot more than 100. It's still monkeys. Okay, okay. Well, we will look into that one and get back. Melissa, what do you have to ask or say or help or add? Yeah, yeah, right. How many of us know there's a great acronym? I learned this in the Howell 12 step halls of this one HALT. Anyone know what those four letters can stand for? Because we tend to make poor decisions when we are hungry, angry, lonely, and tired. Hungry, angry, lonely, and tired. We make things go worse for us. Try not to try try to not take yourself so seriously when you're hungry, angry, lonely, or tired. The decisions you make might or probably will be ones that you regret a little bit. Thank you, Melissa, for voicing in. And Hugh, you were here last week. You do you have and thank again. I know I've thanked you privately and you've gotten thanks, but thank you again for running us last week. Do you have anything you want to add in on how this connects? I'm totally calling on you, so just tell me to go away. Yeah, I love that. and to see that there is actually a right way of doing anger. It's not easy. It's not the way most of us seen it. But I'm sure we've all glimpsed or had moments where we've witnessed somebody saying, when you did that, that made me very angry. Like that, there's a phrase we use in our household: you can be mad without being mean. I'm going to say that one again in case anyone in my house is listening. You can be mad without being mean. I'm really mad at you. You can say that without the vitriol, without the heat, without the the yuck. Yeah. Right, right. So it doesn't necessarily have to do with the words, right? And I remember it's the emotion behind it. You can tell someone to go, hey, go fuck off. You can say it in one way, or you can say it with a lot of heat behind it. It's not the words, it's the heat behind it. It's what Rob said, it's the emotion behind it. Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah. Right, right. We don't want to burn. Well, no, actually, Robin, you can. I spent a lot of years pretending. Right. Jane used to say, I used to pretend, Jane would refer to me as Buddha boy because I was more like a statue of the Buddha than a human being. I was pretending like I was all fine. It wasn't until I turned about 30 where I finally got angry. And we all right, a little bit about me, but Jane called a timeout during an argument just to be proud of me. She says, "Look, you're actually getting angry. That's great." I didn't know how. I was terrified of anger. I thought if I ever got angry, like the cork would come off the bottle and I'd never be able to put it back and the world would end. So I didn't. Yeah, I'm sure it's not just you and me, Robin. I'm sure there might be one other person here. Yeah. Good. Al, are you waving or you wanted to say something? Anne, we're all among. Good. So let me take a look at my notes here. Kip, did you want to tell people a little bit about deep dive? I have a note here that you might want to. Yeah, to be it's an advanced dive. It's not this where you're going all the way deep down where lots of pressure down there. That's a weird phrase. Yeah. Okay. So it's after services we have. If you've not been around, Kip runs a deep dive. There's Joe's Donut World. There's poetry. Annie, are you ready with the announcements? Annie, taking a nap. Okay. There's the announcements for the day. Oh, hi, Moja. Hi there, my friend. Glad to see you're here. I'm going to do I'm going to ask for a volunteer to read the announcements because my daughter, who had asked to do the announcements, has decided to take a nap. Uh, so I'm going to quickly run through our announcements. I have. Oh, here she is. All right, announcements, lady. Announcements, announcements, announcements. Here you go. It's all you.
Okay.
ROTB announcements.
Okay. Come on.
You got to restart that.
Hello, I'm Annie. Come and thank you.
Yeah, you have to say that.
Okay, come on and give me a cheer. I'm today's Saturday service announcer. Uh, Are you wondering how it felt to take all that cheering? Let me tell you.
It says improvise answer. So, good? That's all you got?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
ROTB announcements. Attendee form. The Saturday service attendees form is clickable in the chat. Please fill it in, even if you did so last week. It helps our Rabbi Brian with planning future services.
Thank you for not saying dad in that moment.
Clubhouse. RTB online community Clubhouse is going strong. We talked a little bit about
Dilligaf.
our TWIP for the week, poetry, and last, our weekly newsletter. There's a link to join the Clubhouse at the end of the Saturday service attendees form. Office hours. Rabbi Brian's regular office hours are coming back this Tuesday. This same length, Tuesday, 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Thanks. Great thanks to the Shekinah group who have been meeting. So cool. Thanks to the video helper committee, to Linda for video stat help, and to start the gang of spreadsheets nerds for their help. Thank you for who take all the time to donate and make this magic happen. To Aviva, great for grants, Lay for transcribing, Alex for tech, Kip for deep dive, Kate, who is stepping up in poetry, Joe and Maria for donut hosting, Huge for amazing service last week, you. Yes, you for being willing to be you. And now back to you, Rabbi Brian. Yeah.
All right. Thank you, guys. Oh, and I'm back. Let me get back to my outline. Give me a second. What? Oh, hi, folks. I have a little God drop of the week. I've been adding a little bit of quotes about God or thoughts from God. And here's one that I think you're really going to like. It's from James Finley, Finley. And James Finley wrote this: God protects us from nothing, yet sustains us in everything. That's the quote. God protects us from nothing, whatever, God's just a word, yet sustains us in everything. That's a little God. Yeah, great quote. God protects us from nothing, but sustains us in everything. So there's your little. We like that one. Okay, if I can get, let's take votes on if we like the God drop or not. Okay, fantastic. Good, good. I don't know many services where you get to vote on the theology. That's totally cool. I want to read a few things that people entered in the last Saturday service attendee form. I wanted to read in a few things that people did for which they were proud, and I read these and I thought these are some fantastic things that people have done in the last week. And I have 5 that I pulled out that I want to read to you. One was, I had the worst week at work. While I had several periods of meltdown, I was able to return to center myself to get through the week. The second one was, I posted what I've been going through. I posted what I had been going through publicly in the past few weeks of the Saturday service. For somebody who that was not a comfortable thing for them to do, they were proud of themselves for posting in the chat what they've been going through. I thought that was fantastic. A third one said, being kind to myself, period. A fourth one says, I was able to accept the love and caring that was coming to me without trying to dodge it or prove to myself that they don't mean it. I think a lot of us have had that. I was able to accept the love and caring that was coming to me without trying to dodge it or prove myself that they don't mean it. And the fifth one said, I offered to help my mom without compromising my own personal health. So those are five things that people have written that they were proud of. And I would like to ask you to think for a moment, if this group were to be proud of you for something, if there's something you could be proud of yourself for, is there something that comes to mind where it's that kind of thing where you feel a little bit squishy about, like, I don't really, maybe, but but I'm kind of proud and and so, you know what I'm talking about. Anything come to mind that somebody wants to share aloud? You get extra bonus points that are redeemable in lots of locations. Um, and you'll get and you'll probably be able to buy something on sale this week because you've shared it. I don't know how to promise these things. Is there something that anyone wants to share they did this week that they're a little bit proud of? Go for it, Laura. Thank you. Nice. Good job, Laura. And you've gone into art professionally, which is amazing. I'm making a call back to 2 weeks ago. Laura was brave enough to show us all a piece of art that she didn't necessarily like so much. Oh, and I saw a great quote, which I put up on Instagram. If you see me on Instagram, Rabbi Brian AF, I'm there. And the quote on Instagram said, many of us hate our artwork because it looks like we did it, as though the goal of our artwork is to make it look like someone else did it. I thought that was really quite smart. Is there something else that someone wants to tell us that they did in the last week for which they're proud? Betsy, what do you have, Betsy? Oh, Betsy's friend. Yeah. Hi, Jennifer. Yeah, that's beautiful. Mm-hmm. Do the. I love that. Thank you, Jennifer. Good. Yeah. Good job, Jennifer. Let's see if we got one other person who feels brave to share something they did in the last week or so that they're proud. I see a few people moving their hands up towards their face, and that's like, I'm not sure if you want. It's like subtle. I kind of want to say something, but really, I'm going to just scratch my face a little bit. Nice. Good job, Chad. Wonderful, wonderful. And here's an idea, something to keep with you. This week, and it human beings, we're odd creatures. And somehow, if we put it outside of ourselves, sometimes things feel a little bit easier. So I want you this week, and we're going to talk about different TWIPs we have and different things that we might be doing this week for our practice. And I want you to think this week of this week I'll practice, and maybe it's this week I'll practice being proud of myself for something so that you can bring it back to this group. Seriously, because if you do it thinking about doing it for this group, it might be a little bit easier than just doing it. It brings it to a different place in our head. So that being said, I'd love to hear from people. What is the thing you're going to, based on what we talked about today? When we talked about a bunch of things, we talked about the Dalai Lama, and we talked about starting that the healing of the world is going to start inside with ourselves. We talked about how we have to have looking at ourselves and others and acceptance and patience. We talked about anger. And if we could change nothing else, but we could change the way that we're angry, we could change the world. If we could learn to just be angry at the right person at the right time, the right amount, and for the right reason, and to forgive people. We talked about, well, you tell me, what is it that we talked about that you're going to take with you today as this week's practice? What are you going to practice this week? Yeah, remembering what to be. Good. Well, that's fantastic. So let's do something this week. Remember, I'm spelling this all wrong. Remembering to be proud of ourselves and to make a note of it. What is something else you're going to practice this week? Yeah, go Ray. Go. Yeah, doing it the way that go keep going. It's so to evaluate anger, and then if you do it, and to do this crazy thing that we just heard from Jennifer is, if you find out you did it at the wrong person, the wrong time, the wrong amount, wrong reason, to apologize. We can do that. Yeah, Robin, do it. I think that would be perfect. You mean to be gentle with yourself? Good on you. And Robin, I'm going to give you even an extra point on top of that for calling it out and saying, the service has moved on, but I still want to be proud and I still want people to hear it. Like that takes some guts, lady. So good on you. Good job. Uh, yeah. And what are we going to be proud of for you, Emily? You got something, or what is another TWIP? I need one more. I Yeah, regulation. This I just saw. There's a note that just came in over here. Regulation says I need at least one more person to tell us what they're going to practice this week. Yeah, no, that I need at least one more. So can I get one more? What are you going to look at? And again, the whole the whole idea is that unless we practice whatever it is and we get towards more virtue, then that Dalai Lama quote can come true. The better we can transform ourselves and transform ourselves to have lives filled with peace, grace, and ease, the more other people will interact with us and they'll say, I want some of what they have. So tell me what it is you're going to practice. Don't make me go back to the flute analogy about not practicing between flute lessons. Go ahead. Thank you, Emily. Yeah. Yeah, not beating yourself up for getting angry. I think we're going to spend a bit of time talking about this anger one. Of not beating yourself up for being angry, allow yourself for being angry and realize, just like painting, that maybe at this point we don't do anger the best we possibly can. But know, just like painting, that we can practice it and we can get better at it. Amen? Amen. All right. Moja, I feel like I need to ask you, because you're all the way in Uganda. I feel like you get bonus points. I don't know how, but is there anything you want to add in? Next Shabbat. Well, Shabbat Shalom. I'm so glad you joined us. Moja, thank you. Okay, we are going to do this transition thing. I'm going to stop the recording soon, but I need everyone to wave and say goodbye to all the people on Facebook, because we're going to leave them now. And thank you all for joining. And then we're going to continue.